the whisper of worn pages. Alara was a collector of moments, a quiet observer in a world that moved too fast. While others rushed through the city's bustling avenues, their eyes fixed on screens and their minds on appointments, she moved with a gentle, deliberate pace. Her words were not born from grand events or epic tales, but from the intricate patterns she traced on the weather-beaten bricks of old buildings and the faded, almost ghostly colors of forgotten murals. She believed that every corner, every object, held a hidden narrative waiting to be uncovered, and she was the one with the patience to find it. One chilly Tuesday afternoon, a particularly heavy fog rolled in from the river, casting a dreary gray over the city. Seeking shelter from the gloom, she turned down a narrow, cobblestone side street she had never explored. It was there, nestled between two towering, modern glass-fronted structures, that she saw it, a tiny, antiquated bookshop. Its wooden door, painted a deep, melancholy shade of blue, was framed by a thick, twisting curtain of ivy. A small, ornate sign, swinging gently in the cold breeze, read, "The Quill and Canvas." A sense of quiet anticipation, like the hush before the first drop of rain, settled over her. The hallowed interior. The moment Alara pushed the door open, a soft, melodious bell chimed, and a scent as rich and complex as fine wine enveloped her. It was a perfect harmony of old paper, dust, and something sweetly forgotten, like dried flowers pressed between pages. The interior was a labyrinthine tapestry of textures, from the smooth, worn spines of leather-bound volumes to the rough, fibrous feel of handmade paper. Sunlight, struggling to penetrate the fog outside, filtered through a large, circular window at the back, casting ethereal beams that illuminated the dancing motes of dust in the still, reverent air. Every available surface was a testament to a life lived among books. Shelves, made of a deep, resonant mahogany, stretched from the floor to the high, coffered ceiling, each one a silent repository of stories. A rickety, dark wooden ladder with glistening brass rungs leaned against one wall, inviting an ascent to higher knowledge. The floor, covered in a deep crimson rug with a faded, intricate pattern, was softened by a century of footsteps, each one a phantom memory of a past reader. In the corner, a pot-bellied stove radiated a warm, comforting heat, its iron surface a dull, lustrous black. The air was thick with the quiet hum of existence, the collective wisdom of thousands of books. A symphony of details. Alara began to wander, her fingertips trailing along the spines of the books as if conducting a silent symphony. She noticed the delicate, almost invisible gold lettering on a first edition, the coarse, slightly gritty texture of a hand-bound journal, and the brittle, yellowed pages of a science textbook from a bygone era. Each book was more than just a collection of words, it was a time capsule, a vibrant monument to a forgotten thought or a cherished memory. In a quiet corner, she discovered an old armchair, its velvet upholstery faded and worn thin in places, but still looking incredibly comfortable. Next to it was a small, round table with an empty teacup, its rim a chipped, gentle blue, as if someone had just left moments before. The scene was steeped in a gentle, serene melancholy, a feeling of being both utterly alone and surrounded by a vast, shared history. She could almost hear the hollow whispers of the authors and the murky thoughts of the past readers echoing in the stillness. A small, battered copy of a classic novel lay open on the table, its spine cracked and its pages dog-eared, a testament to a life of being read and reread. She felt an unspoken kinship with the book's previous owner. The keeper of the pages. A soft creak from behind a tall bookshelf made Alara turn. A man with a wispy gray beard and kind eyes peered over the top of a volume. "I see you found the good chair," he said, his voice a low, gravelly rumble. "It has stories of its own." He was the shopkeeper, a man named Arthur, and his presence was as quiet and comforting as the shop itself. He moved with a practiced ease, his fingers finding books in the disorganized piles with an almost magical intuition. He pointed out a few rare finds, a book of beautifully illustrated botanical drawings and a collection of hand-stitched poetry from the early 1900s. He spoke of each book not as merchandise but as a friend, a repository of a human life. Elara asked him how he found such an incredible collection. Arthur smiled, a network of fine lines deepening around his eyes. They find me, he said simply. People bring them here when they want them to be cared for, to have a good home. This isn't just a shop, it's an archive of forgotten lives. A world unveiled. Elara returned to the armchair, pulling out her notebook and pen. She began to write, not a story, but a series of observations about the space. She described the way the light changed, how the shadows deepened with the fading afternoon, and how the dust-laden air seemed to hold the weight of so many years. She wrote about the quiet rustle of pages being turned and the soft creak of the floorboards under Arthur's slow tread. She felt as though she wasn't just observing the space but becoming a part of its ongoing narrative, a new thread in its woven history. As the day ended and the last rays of sunlight faded into twilight, Elara closed her notebook, her heart full. She hadn't found a story to write, she had found a world to describe. She learned that the greatest beauty is often found not in grand, sweeping gestures, but in the small, unassuming details that give a place its unique character. Her journey into the bookshop taught her that to truly understand something, whether a person, a place, or an idea, you must slow down and look closely. It is in the subtle descriptions, the wear on the spine of a book, the scent of old paper, the quality of the light, that the deepest truths are revealed. The shop wasn't just a place to buy books, it was a place to learn how to see the world. It was a timeless echo, a silent library of forgotten truths.